Hi, welcome back to Lifelong Learning. I'm Dr. Trina Boice, and thanks for subscribing. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We really appreciate it. Today, my guest is Monique Williamson, and I'm excited about the things that we're going to talk about. Monique, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to talk to you through the internet. My name is Monique Williamson, and I am the founder of Becoming Enriched, which is a health and wellness brand targeted towards the African American community to focus on healing in all areas of life, not just mental health. So that is nutrition, mental health, physical health, right? Our healing. And it's just really important that we all focus on how do we improve, right? How do we become a more enriched version of ourselves?
I love that title. And by the way, that's her
Thank
website
you.
up here, Becoming Enriched. That's so perfect.
Yeah.
And at Lifelong Learning Education, that's what we're all about,
Mm-hmm.
is creating these courses to help people with personal enrichment or professional development. And so
Exactly.
you're also a meditation expert, and I'm actually working on building a course for lifelong learning. But tell us about what you're doing with meditation for healing and therapy and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So I got into meditation, I would say maybe a year and a half ago. And I had been meditating for a while. Just as a therapist, they make you practice. But I never got it. It just never clicked for me. And then one day I did a meditation called a body scan. And I was like, that's it. I was like, that's what all these people are talking about. This is what all the rage is about. And after that, I was just like, I remember meditating for like 45 minutes, and I was just like absolutely blown away. And so from that, I was like, people need to learn how to do this, like really, really learn and understand, because for me, I could not do the focus, right? I can't do the breathing. I can't do the mantras. I'm always like trying to like oh, and like trying to match my ohms, and it never worked out. And so I found out what open focused meditation was. And I was like, absolutely, right? Open meditation is exactly it. It lets you still think about things while slowing your brain down and kind of getting into a place of relaxation and calm. And so now that I have like learned, I feel like how to meditate, I really want to deliver that and give that to other people, because it's such a wonderful like healing technique. And so I am going to be doing meditation classes 3 times a week, starting at the end of the month. And you'll be able to sign up for those on my website at Becoming Enriched. And each class will focus on different things. We'll have series. So we're going to start with a chakra series, right? And so we're going to work our way up our chakras, starting with root, ending with our crown. There's also going to be a healing series. And I'm very, very excited about the trauma series that we are also going to do.
Now, this is all virtual, right? Or you live in North
Yes.
Carolina,
Mhm.
but people can do this online with you, right?
Yes, all of the meditations will be online, and you can sign up with those. Yeah, for sure. They'll
That's
be done through Zoom.
That's
Hmm.
awesome. And I know a lot of people hear that meditation is so good and so helpful, and they feel like,
Yeah.
oh, I must not be doing it right. And honestly, there is no one right or wrong method, right? It's what works for you,
Hmm.
which is what you found with the open mind.
Exactly.
So do you sit? Do you lay down? How do you do it?
So I normally have to sit, because if I lay down, I'll go to sleep. Like, I'm a very easy sleeper. So normally I sit. I'm a crisscross applesauce type of meditator. So I normally sit and I have like a window seat that has pillows and stuff in it, and kind of get comfortable. And so I normally sit in my window seat and just slow my breathing down. I do have some crystals that I use when I meditate, just to kind of like focus the energy that I want to feel. Um, and that's been really helpful. So, because it reminds me, like, I grip my crystals in the palm of my hand, and each crystal has a different feeling. Each crystal has different textures. And so there are some that are smooth and some that are rough, some that are like gritty, and it helps you stay in the mindset of what you want to focus on.
Now, I know there's a big school of thought that crystals have different medicinal and therapeutic properties as well. So do you
Yeah.
reach for the ones that you feel like you need extra help for
Mhm.
relationships or physical health and that kind of thing?
During meditation or when I'm buying crystals?
Well, both, really.
So honestly, I'm very much of like the universe knows what I need type of crystal buyer. So normally I just like go through the store and whatever feels good or like catches my eye is normally the one that comes home with me. Because if I start reading and things, then it's almost like reading like the Cheese Factory menu. Once you get past page 10, you're like, you've chosen like 10 things and there's too many. And so I'm just like, whatever feels good is the one that's coming home. And when I'm meditating, so I only have four, so it's pretty easy for me to know like which ones make me feel which way. So I have one that is a pyrite and it looks like fool's gold. There's one that is like red jasper and it's like for root chakra, so it makes me feel like very secure. It's like a heavy stone. There is a black obsidian that I have that's really smooth and shiny, and so anytime I want to like ground myself and like really feel like, I would say like self-love, self-worth, like that black shiny stone always really gets it. And I also have amethyst, which is my birthstone. So when I want to be connected, right, connected to my higher self, that's normally what I reach for.
Awesome. Now, some people do meditation as part of their morning ritual, and it's one that I recommend
Mm-hmm.
in our morning ritual course that we offer.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about morning ritual, and you have a gift for everybody who's watching.
So yes, I have a morning and nightly routine sheet. That's a gift for you guys. It is really great because it will help you track which techniques work at what times. So I learned that I am very unlikely to have a successful meditation at nighttime because I will always go to sleep. I have woken up from I don't know how many meditations. And so I had to learn like what I do best and at what times. And so for me, right, meditation is a morning thing. So I always had 3 X's for meditation at night. But journaling is wonderful for me at nighttime because it is a reflection of the day. I'm able to sit and take stock of like, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What do I want to improve on? And how do I want my day to change for tomorrow? And so I'm a huge proponent of routines. I have been since I read, I'm not sure if you have read it also, but The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful book. It really did change my life and how I looked at routines and kind of like starting the day. And so that was where I started. I based my routine off of that book for, I would say, maybe 6 months to a year. And then I started to add in the things that I know worked for me, take out the things that I did not like, and kind of like tweak them as I needed. So my affirmations, instead of doing affirmations, I watch motivational videos because I'm just not a fan. I've never really been a fan of affirmations. I know that's terrible as a therapist. It's almost
No,
sacrilege. Well, in the therapy communities, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry."
it's whatever
But
works
yeah,
best
so
for you. I love that you mentioned
exactly.
watching these motivational videos. There are bazillions of them on YouTube, and they are
Yes.
so
Hmm.
uplifting and inspiring. So it totally works.
Yeah, for sure. And so I have always really loved being able to, like, I pray in the morning now, I do journaling, I do a lot of meditations, or even one of my favorite things to do is visualization.
Now,
Right.
as a therapist, you are especially working nowadays in healing in the African
Mhm.
American community. So, what advice do
Yeah.
you have for? We have a lot of nurses actually that watch this channel. What are some tips that you
Mm.
can offer to help all of us as we're trying to heal this country?
Yeah. So the first thing that I always tell people to do, like self-reflection. Self-reflection is so vitally important. And one of the ways to do that, like I mentioned before, journaling, right? When we can look back on our thoughts, our feelings, the experiences that we've had, right? That really can heal so much just by helping us see our own patterns. And so that is one thing that I always recommend. Another great way to heal, right? And I know this is very much a buzzword in the wellness community, but self-care, right? We have to be very caring for ourselves in these times right now because we're living through a pandemic and none of us were ready, right? This is something that nobody thought they would go through. I remember talking to my grandma about this, and she's 84 now. And she was like, I never thought this would come through my life. And I've lived through a lot. And I was like, yeah, I was like, so the best way that we can get through it is to be compassionate towards ourselves, to be kind towards ourselves. There is no need to feel like we have to do more, right? Please convince yourself to do less, right? To take on less, like to really like give yourself the time and to space to take a breath, because especially parents who are nurses, right? There is the extra of my kids are home, I'm away almost every single day. I'm fighting this incredible illness that is taking over the entire country and the world. And so right now, it's just really important that we show ourselves some grace for sure.
Yeah, I love that you said the word grace, because I feel like it's okay to not be okay right now. There are days where we're feeling strong and
Absolutely.
good, and other days where we're just
Hmm.
fatiguing from this relentless
Yeah.
chaos that's happening in the world. And so it's okay
Hmm.
to give yourself permission to not be okay one day, knowing that the next day you're going to be okay. And
Absolutely.
all of this, we're all going to,
Hmm.
we're going to get through it eventually.
Yeah.
We don't know how long it's going to take. Like the Spanish flu was like over a year that it took. So
Hmm.
we just need to be patient. And
Yeah.
I love the word grace, that show grace to ourselves and to others, because
Hmm.
we're all struggling differently. And while you might be feeling great and powerful and in control one day, maybe the person that you're seeing or talking to is struggling that day. We really
Hmm.
need to give each other a break. And if someone is acting crazy or out of control or completely irrational, to just say, you know what? I've had days and moments like that too, and to just show love and compassion to others as
Hmm.
well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, the fourth agreement is always do your best. And I love how he explains it, because he explains that your best is not always 100%. And
Right.
often we feel like our best should be, right? And so if today my best is only 60%, because maybe I'm tired, I didn't sleep well today, I've been sick, or I like have had something traumatic happen, right? Then all I need to give today is 60%, right? That is my best. That's the best I have. And that's okay, right? Understanding that you do not need to give 100 every single day is so important.
That's really great advice. My husband, for the very first time, watched Frozen on Disney Plus.
Did
And
he love
so
it?
we just watched Frozen 2 last night,
Hmm.
and I love the message in the movie, which is, when you're feeling the depths of despair, just do the next right thing. If all you
Yeah.
can do is wake up and put your feet on the floor and stand
Hmm.
up, that's the next step. And then if all you have the energy to do is brush your teeth, that's the next right thing. And just take it step at a time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One step at a time. That's how we do everything. And it's so important to understand, like, even our large goals, right? Our large goals, our big goals, our shoot for the moon and the stars goals only happen, right? One step at a time.
That's so true. That's such a great point, too, because we feel like we should be there already, rather than
Yeah.
it's going to take one day at a time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great
And I know a
advice.
lot of people, thank you, get down on a lot of people get down on themselves because like, well, I should have had this already. I'm this age. And I always tell people, right, like the time is going to pass anyway. It does not matter how old you are now, right? It doesn't matter how old you will be when you finish. I was like, age is relative. You will always age, right? But you will always improve if you work at it.
Yeah, it's not a race to the finish
Hmm.
line. It's a journey, and we all have a different experience. Everybody's journey is different, and it's so dangerous to compare ourselves with other people and their journeys and their accomplishments.
Absolutely. And social media is like such a big part of that because somebody told me, oh yeah, it was like, don't compare your backstage to somebody's on stage. right?
I
And
like
that is
that.
very much, yeah, because your backstage is messy, right? There's clothes everywhere, there's doing all the stuff, but that's what you're seeing, like you see your own backstage, but you see on Instagram and all this stuff, somebody's on stage, right? They're on stage presence, they're ready, the makeup's done, the hair is done, the poses are perfect. And so, right, because there's always and that's not real life, right? That is just on stage. And on stage only lasts for a little bit.
Right. And I love these Zoom webinars and conferences that we're seeing now with, the little kid running naked to the bathroom or, just stuff that's happening on Zoom. And people
Yeah.
love that because it kind of
Mm-hmm.
takes the pressure off to be perfect. Like
Yeah,
you said, this is,
absolutely.
yeah, real life. Yeah. Well, thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much. I know you're right in the middle of the workday. And so you stepped outside in beautiful North Carolina to visit
Yeah,
with us. Yes, thank you for your great advice. And just as a
absolutely.
reminder to you all, you can get her free gift on the website that I'm pointing up above right here and
Yeah.
find out more about her. I even saw that you've got some really fun clothing apparel that has
Yes.
empowering mantras and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Affirmation t-shirts.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is self-worth over everything. I would say that was the first one I made and the first one that I love, but those will also be being revamped because I want to make them prettier. And you can check that out on my Instagram page in the link. You can also check that out through the website, and the Instagram page is Becoming Enriched. I believe you can also get to that through the Facebook page, which is also Becoming Enriched.
I love it. And if you listening or watching this are interested in learning more about morning rituals, what they are, how to create them, why they're important, then be sure and check out my website down below and you can get all the scoop on that. All right. Thank you again so much. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, be healthy, be happy.
Okay. See you later. Thanks so
Okay.
much, Trina. It was
Bye.
so great to be on the show.
Oh,